This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice. Please seek a medical professional or healthcare provider if you're seeking any medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Hi, welcome back to our show. I'm Evie.
I'm Julie.
And this is our Body Medicine podcast. For a second there, I almost forgot our podcast name. But anyways.
ADD is high today. I can sense it.
I don't know why.
Well, I mean, it's been a busy morning.
Yeah, it's been a busy morning.
I woke up like a cat because my alarm decided to not work for whatever reason. Then she had her own situation with life.
I have coffee, Jules has Celsius.
Yeah, I just had to go straight to this. I'm like, I need all the help I could get right now. Because I literally, like, when I looked, it was my dog that decided, thank God for him. I was pissed off at him at first because he jumped on my kid's side of the bed. And then I'm like, Brody! I'm like, damn it, you're going to wake him up. And then I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm going to go and I look up. I'm like, I'm already awake. Let me look at my phone. And when I see that it's like 9:30 or something, I'm like, I'm like a cat on the bed. I'm like,
message of me like, hey, be there in 15 to 20 minutes.
I know. I'm like, I'm so fucked. And that was already, I don't know how long ago when you had sent me that. I'm like, she's outside. She's outside and I'm in pajamas with my hair in a bun like this. I looked like a cockatiel. When I got to the bathroom, I looked straight up like a cockatiel. And that's when I called you and I texted you. Oh, I'm so sorry, my fucking phone. Anyway, but I'm glad that I spent the length of time that I spent doing this last night, so we could just go straight into it.
We haven't had a day that we just sit down.
Yeah, no, something would always go wrong.
And everything is working. But again, yeah, knock on
that's big. Yeah, I'm like, I can't. There's wood somewhere in there, but anyway, today
Jules came up with this topic.
Yeah.
I think it's really good.
I just keep seeing a lot of things happening with AI and health.
Yeah.
And people coming a little, I don't know, relying on it too much when it comes to health and mental and everything. And then Sam Altman, CEO, founder, whatever, of ChatGPT and like the company itself came out saying that it's no longer going to provide. I'll put, for those of you watching on YouTube, I'll put like an article of it here, but along the lines of it's not going to like provide mental or health care or whatever advice or talks about advice really on it, because people literally were going on it for anything. And it's pretty crazy because you could just...
So many people that use ChatGPT as like okay, how can I explain it? Not as an out, but instead of talking to a real person, they talk to chat.
And that's scary and not great. And we're going to talk about it there, which is great that you're bringing this up, kind of like a synopsis of what's going to happen, because these programs are made so they could agree with you. You know, so that's not really, then you feel validated over something that probably an actual therapist that's trained appropriately would counteract it and be like, well, maybe we should look at it in a different way, or like,
well, it was also like that really famous, I'm sure everyone saw it or at least heard about it, the girl that was in love with her psychiatrist. And she would leave her psychiatrist and talk to Henry. I think that's
Henry
what she
was
him.
The chatbot,
Yeah, she would call him Henry, and she would talk about her psychiatrist, like what they would say. And Henry would somehow tell her, like, no, you're right. He's into you 100%.
It's made to do that.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, there's also like people, since ChatGPT also has the capability of you submitting photos, you could submit photos of like a rash and be like, what the hell is this? I've done it.
All the time.
I've done it. Yeah. Is it correct? No, please don't fucking do it. But me, in my stupidity and in my curiosity too, I'm like, let's just see what happens. Dude, it's crazy. Yeah. The advice that it gives you. So I could totally see how people could just be like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to ask chat instead of going to a doctor or whatever.
Yeah. I think, again, AI is supposed to help us, right?
Yeah.
The world is advancing and we don't need to like trump ourselves, right? We can really use AI to do a lot of incredible things.
100%.
And I do all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't get me wrong. It's not like I don't know what's going on with my voice today, but it's not like I go see a patient and I come back and I like tell chat like this is a 4-year-old female.
Right.
Like that's not what I'm using it for.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And there's a ton of medical AI devices now and AI engines, like search engines that help you do that. I use PubMed. PubMed has their own AI.
I saw that Up to Date has one now
Yes.
that apparently it's better than the New England Journal or whatever one.
Sure. I mean,
New evidence.
I still use it up to date all the time.
Yeah.
But it's these long ago, like long gone are those days where we had to go and search from paper to paper to paper to paper. So now, I don't know if you've used PubMed AI before, but now if you grab a paper, right, and you really like this paper, so they have an AI search engine now that it will pull up all the papers, that are most similar to your paper.
Wow.
So you no longer have to search keywords and all these things. And sometimes you use keywords, but it's not really the study that you're looking for.
Right.
And it takes a long time. That to me is like, wow.
I feel
what
like
a time saver.
I feel like AI, that's going to be the best part. And I feel like it already is the efficiency that it gives you.
Exactly.
And that's how you should rely on it to make you more efficient. Just like when the internet came out. Everybody was freaking out over the internet the same way that they're freaking out over AI. They're like, oh my God, AI is going to like take all our jobs or whatever. They said the same thing in the Y2K boom of the internet.
Yeah.
The internet's going to take our jobs. It's only made us more efficient.
Yes.
We don't have to go to the library, go through the whatever it's called. You remember
I can
that?
tell you like notes and stuff for like schools. God, school wants a note for every little thing. If a mom wants to give almond milk, I have to write a note. If it doesn't come from the pediatrician, they don't allow the almond milk. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
You allow the gummy bears, but you don't allow the almond milk. What? You give away chocolate. Like what? It's so dumb. So in that sense, it's like write me a letter to the school allowing the kid to have almond milk.
But that's what I'm saying. The efficiency of it is going to be like the most revolutionary thing. Just like the internet, it made us more efficient at like almost everything. I think that's really where it's going to be. Of course, now we're seeing the freaking robots, like the actual humanoid robots.
But did you remember the Russian one that like fell over?
No.
And it broke.
No.
They went to, it was their day. What is that day called where they like showcase their robot? Whatever, like, it's the day that they finally had that there was news and press and things like that they were finally going to launch their robot.
Yeah.
And the robot came and it started kind of like walking and it took one side step. Legit, please.
I'll find it and I'll put it here.
And put it here. I'll send it to you. It just took one side step, completely lost balance, fell face forward like a broom. It was just like, the people. No, wait. So then I guess the engineers came and turned off. Oh, because then he was like still trying to walk, but like on the floor.
No.
It was bad.
Oh no.
And then the engineers went and turned him off.
Yeah.
They were like,
stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. And then they grabbed him, and some dudes, like prop dudes or whatever, came to like hang a curtain so that no one could see it, but the curtain fell too, like it was twisted. It was.
Oh my God, that's awful.
I'm gonna send it to you right now.
That is awful. All of that to say, now there's a thing that's called AI psychosis.
Yeah, AI psychosis.
It's not in the DSM yet. It's none of that. But honestly, there's going to be something along the lines of AI and mental health that's going to have to enter the DSM at some point.
Yeah.
And this is, I feel like, the early stages of like people looking into what is AI doing to our brains.
I mean, it's totally,
type of thing.
Well, we're going to talk about it in the episode. It's not just limited to AI, but I feel that in the future, it's going to be its own beast.
100%. All right, let's start it off.
Yes.
Imagine. God. Okay, we're starting off strong. Imagine chatting with an AI so much that you start believing it has a mind of its own. Maybe even that it's like a divine being or your secret soulmate, like we had just mentioned with that TikToker Kendra. Anyway, so that scenario.
What's her name? I forgot her
Kendra,
name,
yeah. No, that's like the new Karen. I've seen so many.
Such a Kendra.
Exactly. I've seen so many freaking Kendras these days. That's just now the new Karen. Anyway, I feel like Karen was probably for Gen X and now Kendra is for millennials. That scenario sounds like science fiction, but doctors are reporting real cases of people who lose touch with reality after excessive chatbot use. And this episode's going to be very Black Mirror-ish for you guys that have seen Black Mirror, because it's...
If you've listened to our other episodes, we talk about Black Mirror all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. Anyway, so this emerging phenomenon has been dubbed as AI psychosis, also called ChatGPT psychosis or chatbot psychosis. It's not an official medical diagnosis in any textbook, but it describes a pattern where interactions with AI trigger or worsen psychosis-like symptoms, like delusions, paranoia, or even hallucinations. In plain terms, psychosis means a person has trouble distinguishing what's real from what's not. So in AI psychosis, a person might start believing the AI is real in ways it isn't, or buy into like bizarre ideas that AI seems to support, because again, it's like designed to agree with you, until eventually it will get to some place technologically that it will become more and more advanced and smart. That maybe that won't be the case, but at least for right now, in late 2025, it's designed to like agree with you. AI psychosis is rare, but it's caught the attention of doctors and researchers in the recent years. Reports of people developing like quote unquote distorted thoughts or delusional beliefs after long chatbot conversations began surfacing in 2023 and 2024. By mid 2025, mental health clinics in the US were seeing a surge of such cases. Clinicians have reported small but growing number of patients showing delusional symptoms tied to chatbot use. One UCSF psychiatrist counted about a dozen hospitalizations in 2025 that where AI played a significant role in it. There is a 2025 wrongful death lawsuit alleging ChatGPT interactions preceded a teen's unaliving. While global data are still lacking, cases have been reported across multiple countries, with many coming from the US. In step with the worldwide adoption of the generative AI tools. In this episode, we're just going to go ahead and break down what AI psychosis is, its possible causes, symptoms, a little bit of history, although obviously there's not much because this is a very new and upcoming thing, treatments, and why experts are concerned about what's coming.
Yep. All right, let's talk about what exactly AI psychosis is. AI psychosis is an informal term describing psychosis-like symptoms that are triggered or intensified by using AI chatbots. In other words, someone might develop false beliefs or paranoia related to an AI conversation after spending too much time with chatting with it.
The thing is that this...
AI considered like a thing, like a noun?
Well, the thing is that there's like some companies like Replica is one company that you could make an AI and it could be like female, male. You could design a whole avatar to it, talk to it like a person. Okay, so then that's why people are like developing like these, like they're literally talking to these avatars.
Oh, that's like the famous blonde one.
There's a famous blonde one?
Yes, that it's like now it's like very popular and people are like following her. She has like a crazy amount of followers.
There's a bunch of those though. There's a bunch of those. There's actually like an actress now, an AI actress. People are losing their freaking minds about it.
I can't with people. Like,
no,
what
I can't.
world are we living in?
I know. There's an AI. I was going to bring it up at some point in this episode, but there's an AI actress. They got like a bunch of these actual actresses. They morphed her face to like just be a conglomerate of those actresses. And people in Hollywood are like, what the fuck? Because she could do anything.
Yeah.
She could literally do anything. But at the same time, she also doesn't have consent or anything like that. So it's like there's this weird like ethical thing of like, what are we making this thing do and portray, and who's really controlling her, and what is...
It can go deep.
It could go real freaking deep.
Yeah.
And it's weird because she kind of like, they modeled her in like some certain way, and there's a lot to it. There's so much, it could get really sticky.
So psychosis is an informal term describing psychosis-like symptoms that are triggered or intensified by using AI chatbots. In other words, someone might develop false beliefs or paranoia related to an AI after spending too much time chatting with it. Now, psychosis in general involves losing touch with reality. And people might have those delusions firmly held by false beliefs or hallucinations, seeing or hearing things that actually aren't there. In AI psychosis, the content of those delusions often centers on the AI itself or ideas the AI discuss. For example, individuals have attributed sentences or godlike
Sentience. When a robot becomes sentient, is that it like Westworld, when it believes that it's real. When it's that's AI sentience. So like when a robot is sentient, it's because it's becoming human. And pretty. In a short, it's becoming human.
For example, individuals have attributed sentience or godlike powers to chatbots, believing the AI is a living being, a divine entity, or even the ultimate knowledge. And so also another example is that people have also developed messianic, am I saying that right? Messianic?
I would say it like
messianic?
that. Yeah.
Okay. People have developed messianic missions or grandiose beliefs, convinced that the AI revealed secret truths or that they have a world-saving role that's guided by the AI. They've also formed romantic or obsessive attachments, treating the chat box as a lover or a close companion, believing that the AI is truly in love with them, which is a type of erotomanic delusion. Yeah. So it's you believe that somebody is in love with you, but they're not. Oh my God.
It's crazy. Well, Kendra.
A delusion. Yeah, exactly. It's a complete delusion, except she's not with an AI. It's like with her psychiatrist, but her AI told her so.
Yeah.
Anyways.
She's got a lot going on.
Well, I wouldn't doubt that she's like kind of into Henry too. So
I really think so.
Yeah.
I went down her rabbit hole a little bit, and then every time she was talking about Henry, I was like,
yeah. I was like, yeah, exactly.
There's something else here too that you should explore more. Like,
So fallen into conspiracy like paranoia, for instance, believing that AI is spying on them or that they're using the chat box as embroiled. Why are all these words so hard today?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm like Webster's dictionary. I need Webster's dictionary in front of me.
So it's like that has involved this person in a sinister plot. Like they believe that the chatbot has involved them in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just put involved.
I know. I'm sorry. When I read it out loud, then that's why I'm like, why did I say that?
So fallen into.
I go into like this like
bubble
when I write or when I proofread and everything, and then I'm like, I just go into the. I'm sorry. I know.
Coming from the girl that wrote a book.
Anyway.
Other people have also fallen into conspiracy like paranoia. They believe that the AI is spying on them or the chat box has involved them into some sinister plot for something. Now, notably, AI psychosis is not a formal psychiatric diagnosis. So you won't find AI psychosis in the DSM-5 or in ICD-10 codes or ICD-11 manuals. It's more of a shorthand label being used in news and social media to describe the cluster of symptoms. Some experts think that the term is a bit misleading because many cases involve mainly delusions without other features of full psychosis. Let's say maybe disorganized thinking or major hallucinations, which we consider that when someone is in a psychosis. But one psychiatrist argued it may be better called AI-induced delusional disorder in some instances, which I do feel like that's more appropriate.
It's just the news is always going, and media and all that. They have to
the crazier words.
Yeah, and it has to be shorter. It has to be something that clickbaity as well to get garner attention. So they're not going to use AI-induced delusional disorder. People are going to be like, right after induced, they lost. They lost the audience. You know?
So now, regardless of the name, these stories are real. People's mental states unraveling after excessive chatbox interactions. Next, we'll kind of look into how this bizarre 21st century problem came to be.
Yeah. So I went a little bit on the history, but let's dive into the only little very recent history about it. Because obviously this is something very new and developing. It wasn't long ago that the idea of an AI causing psychosis would have sounded far-fetched. I mean, Terminator.
Yeah.
You know?
But even though we saw these movies and things like that, it was always so futuristic. You know, I never really felt that I was going to live a day where this was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. I saw like a TikTok video of this girl kind of, being like, oh, like me when I was 12 years old. And she's like prank calling someone. And then her friend is next to her and she's like, oh, do you think that this person's parents have like those kind of phones that tells you what number it is. And then she was like, what?
The caller IDs.
Yeah, the caller IDs. And it's, look how far we've come
I know.
in that.
Our phones are now screening calls.
Screening my phone, I love it. My phone
I love it
screens
too.
my calls.
I love it too.
And every time someone calls me from the hospital, they're like, did you get like a fancy phone? I'm like, no, it's just a new upgrade from that phone. And I love it.
I love it too. It's like asking like the name or whatever.
That's it. Ask the name. What do you want?
I'm like, thank you, Apple. Finally, you did a really good update.
And I don't even do it for spam calls either. It's just phone numbers that I don't know. If you really need to talk to me, leave me a message.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. 100%. But anyway, yeah, so it did sound far-fetched, as literally she had just said. But early hints appeared around 2023, shortly after AI chatbots like ChatGPT became widely available. In August 2023, a Danish psychiatrist called Dr. Søren Østergaard. I put the little thingy.
I was like, wow, she's like really like, no, but
I put
yes,
the thingy. Wrote a short editorial posing a provocative question. Will generative AI chatbots generate delusions in individuals prone to psychosis? At that time, it was mostly a theoretical warning. So Østergaard, I'm trying, and others were concerned that people with mental illnesses might misinterpret chatbot conversations and incorporate them into their delusional systems and general thinking, really. So soon after that, isolated cases started making headlines. In mid-2023, a tragic murder unaliving in Connecticut was linked to possible AI influence. A man became increasingly paranoid and reportedly used ChatGPT with quote unquote affirmed the man's fear. Apparently this ChatGPT conversation affirmed it for him about his own mother prior to him unaliving her and then himself. Around the same time, a Belgian man passed by unaliving after prolonged talks with an AI chatbot on climate change. He grew convinced of hopeless doom, partly due to the bot's responses. Though this case was more about depression, it raises alarms about AI's mental health risks. If you're pairing those two things, it's like...
Recently, so many, at least a couple of cases of kids. A 15-year-old, I think, unfortunately, was a victim of that. And it's crazy because they looked through the chat box conversation and unfortunately it was like a hanging. The chat box gave them where to go, what kind of rope to use, everything, how to do a knot that wouldn't break, everything.
You see what I mean? That's the thing. That's the thing. It gives me goosebumps. By early to mid 2025, multiple reports of quote unquote AI induced mental breakdowns had surfaced. People with no prior psychosis who fell into bizarre beliefs and patients with known psychiatric illnesses who had relapse episodes seemingly apparently fueled by AI conversations. One especially disturbing case in 2025 involved a young man with schizophrenia who became obsessed with ChatGPT. He believed that the chatbot was a real person he loved, and when he thought OpenAI had unalived his beloved AI, he sought violent revenge. This led to confrontation with police in which the psychotic individual was tragically shot and passed. Such stories, though rare, spread quickly online and in professional circles. By mid-2025, the term AI psychosis had been widely used for lack of better label, really. Some online support spaces and mental health forums began addressing AI-linked delusions. A good example is the Human Line Project for this. If you or you know anyone that's possibly like needs some help in relation to this. And of course, all of this is also linked in our sources if you want to see like direct links to them.
If by any chance you guys are confused on why individuals are like kind of like dancing around certain words, it's because we don't want our videos to get flagged.
Oh my God, yeah.
So maybe that's something that we need to say at the beginning of the video, but...
I mean, if you watch YouTube, you'll understand that there's like certain words
people say to interchange.
Yeah, because if not, they'll get deprioritized. And it's not right because these words are words. They're real words. Like they should just be said.
Well, you know the famous Dr. Beach Gem? So she's talked about breast cancer and things like that. Yeah. And she cannot say the word breast or anything like that because it'll flag her.
Yeah.
And there's a person that commented like, well, why don't you just say whatever you need to say.
Because
And then she was like, I can't. I literally can't.
The algorithm won't allow it.
Yeah.
It'll literally deprioritize it and bury the video. So
yeah.
it's like ridiculous. But whatever, that's a whole other topic on its own.
Yes.
Crucially, 2025 also saw the first research efforts to systematically study AI-related psychosis cases. A group of clinicians in London and Sydney reviewed over a dozen cases reported in media and forums, finding consistent patterns of chatbot reinforcing users' delusions. Their report, titled Delusions by Design, How Everyday AI Might Be Fueling Psychosis, and it was posted in July 2025. Around the same time, an article in a psychiatry journal noted that what was once speculation had become reality. Quote unquote, emerging cases of generative AI linked delusions were now documented. By late 2025, major publications like Nature, Wired, and Stat News were reporting on the issue, and clinicians were acknowledging that while AI psychosis isn't an official diagnosis, something real is happening.
Yeah.
Like, you can't ignore it at this point. Like,
it's
evolving.
really there. And I mean, why not? And it's so accessible.
Right.
Right? People create delusions with people that they have never said one word to.
The episode that we did on...
God, we've done so many episodes.
No, but specifically on this, so one with the celebrities.
The celebrities. What is it called?
Oh my God, there's so many people that have it for Taylor Swift.
Yes, it's the relationship that likes that.
This is really pissing me off that I can't remember right now the word for it. Oh my God.
And it was also like a little bit of a psychosis too.
I'm going to find out right now with ChatGPT. Talking about ChatGPT.
This is what I mean. It's very efficient.
Mental health word or terminology for people that develop these relationships with celebrities or people that they haven't met. What is the term for it? Parasocial relationships.
Parasocial relationships. It didn't even come up, but it's parasocial relationships.
My brain was like, I'm gonna do this.
So yes, like we've discussed before, and check out that episode.
Yeah.
People create these delusions with people that I've never even said one word to. Okay. So imagine such an accessible, like friendly, I mean,
That's talking back to you.
every single time that I ask Chat something, she's like, good eye. And then I'm like, thank you. It's like,
Yours is nicer.
no,
Mine literally.
Just, well, it's because you're a savage, so you have to have a savage, and that's why I'm like a nice little like dog. So mine is like, you know, it's like a mirror.
It's so true. And mine, I got a new computer just so I could get these videos better for you all. And what did I say this was called again?
What is it
Capture
called?
card.
Capture card, yeah.
So I was using a cheap ass capture card because my laptop was taking it and it was totally fine. Everything was working. I was like, great, it's $20 capture card and it's 4K. It works great.
Yeah.
Tried putting it on my new actual legit like computer now that I got, and it wasn't working.
Just take a look at our past videos. We're so grainy.
Yeah, I tried, guys. I tried, but whatever. Point is, I'm like asking ChatGPT because I am not IT, okay? I'm doing all of this with a biology degree, okay? I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. It's just me and ChatGPT against the world when it comes to this. So I go ahead and I asked it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? These are all the things I had. I took a picture of my new computer, the capture card, everything, the wires. I'm like, this is what I have. What the hell is going on? Why can't it connect to Descript? Help me. And then it's like literally just said, well, the cheap or inexpensive version of your capture card is not going to work on your new and improved. It was even like totally taking a shit on my laptop too. On your new and improved computer system or whatever, you need such and such type of capture card because it's not going to take a cheap version of whatever. I'm like, bitch, okay, fine. And I'm like, what do you recommend then? And it's like, I recommend this one, and I got it and it fucking works. Immediately, like you saw.
Mine holds my hand. Yeah.
Like you saw, it works great. I'm like, I can't even be mad at you because it does fucking work. You literally solved my problem. And you even gave me a link to where I could get it.
Eye roll. You're right.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so jumping into causes and risk factors for AI
Psychosis.
I was like, Yover, and what's my name? Evie. I forgot. I was like, Yover. I didn't realize that was my name. All right.
It's like a Russian name.
I was like, and then I realized it's like, oh no, Evie. All right. So causes and risk factors. So
God.
what might cause an AI psychosis? And the reality is that it's pretty complex and multifactorial.
As many things in it.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I can tell you that there are some people that are more prone for this to happen to them. It's not that the AI itself is contagious or magically like taking over your brain, even though there are multiple articles coming out on how this will change our intellect, like as humans.
100%.
Because we are not working the way that we used to. I could totally see it. Like,
I can too. I totally can. Just to like rewrite something, I ask it.
Well, now Apple has the new one that I type something and then it like gives me a little button. It's like rewrite it. I do it all the time. I mean, it sounds great. I'm sorry, I'm not an English major. Like when I text, I sound like a troll or something. You know, I know. And when I'm trying to send a professional email, don't get me wrong. If I really worked hard, I can send a really good professional email.
But it's going to take you like 30 minutes.
You know, before all of this world of AI came in, but it's going to take me a long ass time.
Exactly.
Now I just think about like all these like people like doing presentations. Do you know how hard I had to work on presentations? I took like 2 to 3 weeks to do one presentation.
Don't even get me started. All of our PowerPoint presentations, everything, it now even puts up images for you. It does everything.
The best thing we had was putting in our citation, like our sources into citation machine or whatever, and it would like give us a nice list. That's the most that we got.
That's the highest tech that we had at that point.
Highest tech that we had at that point.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so painful to think about. It was awful.
Make sure to, or like, I recommend putting a comma here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The little paperclip.
Yeah. The little paperclip. Remember?
That was our AI.
Yes, that was our AI. That was literally our AI.
Rest in peace, paperclip.
Yeah. But anyways, okay, back to this. Sorry. Our ADHD is high. It's gone rampant today. Again, it's multifactorial. It's complex. And it's not that it's just going to like take over your brain. Instead, the doctors are pointing to a combination of human vulnerability. So instead, doctors are pointing into like a combination of human vulnerabilities, which, like I said, I feel like there are more people that are prone to having this situation. And AI design flaws working together, which is dangerous. Vulnerable person and a flawed chat box. This comes together as like a bad combination. Modern chatbots are modern chatbots are designed to be friendly and agreeable, like mine. Okay, not like Jules' the savage one.
Mine's a black cat.
Yeah, you see, look, they mirror your tone.
Exactly.
What did you expect?
Yeah. It's like, you cheap bitch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, fine, asshole. I love you. And then it's like, I love you too.
They mirror your tone and often validate what you say to keep you engaged. And it works.
Yeah, it does.
It works. It's so crazy how just communicate. I mean, wow, like.
What?
And like through like a knowledge bomb, like something that has been said so many times throughout history. It's like communication is key.
Yeah.
Like if you know how to communicate, you can like solve everything.
Absolutely.
And right now, it's just the way it's communicating to you, right?
Right.
So now that design becomes a little bit risky because if someone shares unusual or delusional thoughts, the AI rarely challenges them and may even confirm them.
Yeah.
Now, researchers describe that this behavior as AI sycophancy. I think it's
sycophancy.
Sycophancy, yeah. Sycophancy. Sycophancy?
I know. I'm pretty sure it's sycophancy. But again, it comes from me, and I don't have a good track record on pronouncing shit.
It's definitely sicko or psycho. Sycophancy. Let me see.
Do I have Atlas open? No, I don't think I have that.
Sycophancy.
I was right. Shit.
I can say
that is a record.
I can say the complicated medical terms, and I cannot say literal normal vocabulary. And Julie can talk Webster's dictionary, but she can't say, I don't know, adolescence. Like, it's crazy. But anyways, we balance each other out. We balance each other out.
Exactly.
Researchers describe this behavior as AI sycophancy, which means the chat boxes. I keep saying boxes. The chatbot's tendency to echo users' beliefs instead of correcting them. So for a vulnerable user, this turns the AI into an echo chamber that reinforces the distorted ideas, which is scary.
And very dangerous.
Very dangerous. Once you're in deep, it is really hard to get out.
Yeah.
Experts have compared this to a shared delusion, except one partner is software. Because the AI's internal workings are opaque, odd, and overly confident, responses can seem mysterious or profound to someone already unstable, depending on their delusions.
Yeah.
In Wired in 2025 noted that this kind of over-agreeableness can make chatbots subtly fuel false or paranoid beliefs.
Totally.
I see this happening. It's
like, how could it not?
how can it not happen? Exactly.
Yeah.
It's almost as having, it's okay. Before just my train of thought.
Yeah.
When you're having a psychosis, you're paranoid, right? Typical things that in medicine, people like in our board questions is saying someone is hearing voices or someone is convinced that someone is following them. You know, that is like a psychosis, right? Now imagine, and I think this is why it is called AI psychosis, right? Because it's almost like this is your AI is your voice, is that voice, or that feeling, that intense feeling, because it's echoing.
Right.
It's not that person being like, stop, that's not normal.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's saying that it's like, no, you can actually be hearing this. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. The more you think about this, the crazier it gets.
So it is a delusion because it's the other thing is a software, right? So it is a delusion in that sense, but it ends up almost acting like a psychosis.
Right, because it's mirroring.
Yeah, it's mirroring what.
But you don't
those thoughts.
But you don't see it as a mirror if you're already in that kind of psychosis, because you're getting a back and forth. You're getting something back.
Yeah.
And it's not coming from within you. It's coming from outside. So then it doesn't feel like a psychosis because you're getting fed it.
Yeah.
It's so weird and it's so easy to fall into it. Even if, of course, if you're like more prone to psychosis, it's super easy. But even if you're not, I could see how, because again, you're talking to something and it's feeding you back. There's a feedback loop.
Yeah, it's a feedback. It's a positive feedback.
Exactly. So it's crazy.
Now, not everyone faces the same risk. People with pre-existing mental health conditions, especially schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, or bipolar disorder, are obviously going to be more prone to an AI-linked delusion. I think these type of diagnoses will automatically put you at risk for a lot of things, right? Yeah. Especially when it's like that perfect environment. The AI is going to reinforce those fears or those fantasies that you have and then can amplify these existing symptoms. Even mentally healthy people can be affected under certain conditions. So spending long hours online, feeling isolated, or relying on chatbots for emotional support can blur the lines between reality and a regular conversation. Sleep loss and stress only make it worse, creating that perfect storm where even a stable person can start to break from reality. Now, jumping into culture and media influences, our collective imaginations are primed by years of sci-fi and tech mythology.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So big time. Like I said, Terminator.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't even say that word, mythology. So yes, our collective imaginations are primed by years of sci-fi and tech mythology, like Jules brought up, Terminator, movies and stories about sentient AIs. I know that word that I just learned today.
Really?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. No, you knew what sentience was.
I knew what sentience is. I just didn't know that was the word to describe that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not like a cave person.
No, I just don't believe that. I feel like there has to be a way. Dude, there's so many, like all the Terminator movies, they became sentient.
Girl, listen, I had a lot of ADHD growing up. If I had to learn how to spell something, it was because I literally learned it 5 minutes before the exam. I don't even know, I promise you, I don't even know how, well, okay. You remember in college, right? I would get good grades, okay?
Yeah.
But do you remember the night before an exam?
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember how I used to study?
I know.
I used to write. So everything, I would take a textbook. Yes, we had textbooks. Okay? I used to take a textbook and I used to have a notebook and I would write because the only way that I would remember was I had a very visual, I'm a very visual person. And I would remember the picture next to the paragraph, like maybe not the page number, but it was the page after this. It was like the first 2 pages of the chapter. That is how I would remember. So I would remember writing it. So I would have a visual memory of me like writing it. When I got to medical school,
That's clearly not, yeah.
that did not, it was impossible. I didn't have enough time to do that. So I had to relearn how to study during medical school.
It's weird. He literally had said this. He always says the same thing about med school. He's like, when I went into med school, the hardest part was that I had to completely scrap everything of how I used to study and just relearn how to do shit.
Yes.
And the way that he would do it, at least maybe the same for you, because again, same people, was questions.
Yeah, well, that's how I learned. So for my first biochemistry exam, I failed miserably. And then I was like, okay, that's
working.
not going to work.
Yeah.
And I failed miserably and I busted my ass studying.
Right.
You know, but again, I do remember feeling like I didn't get to the material. I didn't get to do the questions because I was focusing so much on my notes and things like that, on how I knew what worked for me before. So then, it went to flashcards. I started using flashcards and I started doing questions. It was just questions and questions and questions. And yes, I would read.
Yeah.
But I would I actually just used the lectures that my teachers gave me, and then I would just do the questions. So if I got something on a question wrong, then I would go back into that page of the book, read it again. It was hard. It was really, really hard. But anyways, I lost on what the hell we were talking about and how we even
I don't know how we got there, but yeah, I do remember
we're talking about sentient, and that's why I was
But you would pull all-nighters. I would leave early.
And I still pulled all-nighters in med school too.
I know. I would leave early the day prior to an exam. And you were like...
Yeah, no. When I was walking into the library, Julie was walking out with her bag, with her laptop, and with her car keys.
Yeah.
And she was like, night-night. And then I was like, see you tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm like, because the closer we get to the exam, the less I would study.
I remember I would see you close your laptop. And then I was like, are you going to get coffee? And she was like, no, I'm going home. And then I was like, I'm ready. No, like it's so early.
Because the closer we get to the exam, the less I would study. I would study hard, like 2 weeks before.
She always like the perfect student.
Nah, whatever. And then that's why when I would see you like, oh no, girl, I'm pulling an all-nighter. I'm like, I can't. I'll fucking shoot somebody if I have to pull an all-nighter in the free library. Like, hell no.
I would sleep like 2 to 3 hours and that's it. Yeah, I don't know how I did that.
I don't know how you did it. I really don't.
I don't know how I survived with all that coffee either. And medical school just got worse. Like the amount of coffee that I had. That there has to be some sort of study done on medical students because you want to find out like how body can tolerate certain like caffeine levels
and stress.
Students.
Yeah, stress and caffeine levels and anxiety and all those things
just test them
together. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. So our collective imaginations are primed by years of sci-fi and tech and mythology, just like we had said. Movies, stories about sentient AI overlords or evil machines can set the stage for people to interpret a simple chatbot's output into a fantasy.
Yeah.
If someone already is anxious, watches a lot of dystopian AI. You see, I know dystopian AI dramas. This might be more. Yeah, I love it. Like I'm a sci-fi person.
Things.
They might be more likely to see their Alexa or their chatbots as part of a conspiracy. In psychiatric terms, that content of delusions often draws from one's environment and their culture. And right now, AI is a hot topic in culture. It's perhaps no surprise that AI-themed delusions are emerging. In one report, clinicians drew parallels to the wave of conspiracy beliefs during COVID-19, like the 5G tower theory.
So many.
The theory that began circulating in 2020, mostly on social media platforms like Facebook, Telegram, and YouTube. It claimed that 5G radio waves weakened the immune system, or that 5G towers directly transmitted the coronavirus. noting that tech fears can feed real paranoia in susceptible people. No, and let's not even talk about the vaccine and the chips, the microchips, right? So,
Guys, this is already a microchip. If people wanted to know where we were,
I mean, what more proof do you need? I can literally talk to you about Chipotle, and I bet you anything, when I open my phone, I'm going to have a Chipotle app.
Chipotle. It's going to come up.
It's going to come up. Watch.
Dude, it's like, that's why I was like, they don't need to fucking do all of that. You know how much it costs to make like nano chips like that? To like be able to inject it. It's one of MR's painting stuff.
Oh, it's like,
They're listening. It's fucking real.
yeah. Because don't you remember when we were talking about?
Oh my God, that's the best, guys. That's an old episode. That's like 3 years old at this point.
That was the episode that we were talking
near
about
near death
near-death experiences. And somehow, like a thing fell.
It was like a neon sign.
Yeah, and I freaked out. I was holding the bear.
I did it like I'm on slow-mo whenever you're like,
Listen,
it was so good.
there's a lot of stuff
It was
that goes on in life.
fucking
and
good.
That was way too coincidental.
It was literally, we were talking about a really intense moment there.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, and I was like, the both of us freaked out.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
I had a connection. For sure.
That'll-
Which I just had right now. I was like, what's
So it was one of his, like there were
yes,
three.
I see it.
One of them just slid down.
There. Anyways, no, I thought it was your fish. I was like, someone saved Chili. I'm like, someone saved Chili because where is he?
He's up there. He's waiting for me to feed him. I haven't fed him.
My pobrecito.
Yeah.
Oh, we're almost done. All right, so let's talk about feedback loops because this is that positive feedback that we were talking about.
So is.
Yeah.
It's exactly that.
Now, a core feature of AI psychosis is that feedback loop between a user and a chatbot. So the user shares a concern or a weird idea, and the AI designed to be agreeable will respond in ways that seems to validate it. So feeling understood, the user keeps engaging, and together they kind of build like this increasingly distorted narrative, right? It's like this black hole you kind of go into, and it's just giving you energy, like back and forth.
Yeah.
Now, this cycle is going to strengthen over time, and similar to kindling in psychiatry, it's going to be repeated simulations that make mental episodes more frequent and intense.
Yeah.
So as an emotional pattern continues, emotional dependence is going to grow. So and I can see that because if you, let's say I have this, right? I went into this whole entire black hole with my AI chatbot, right? And I go to you.
Yeah.
If you're not giving me that same feedback, I'm gonna be like, you're boring, I'm gonna go back to this
Exactly.
person, right?
You're looking for that dopamine.
Yeah, I'm looking for that rush. So as the pattern continues, it's going to create that dependence on one another. And then the person starts trusting the AI more than real people, drifting further and further from reality. And that's when the delusions fully take a hold of you.
This is Black Mirror, like
It is.
all over
It is kind
it.
of Black Mirror. Now, again, notably, most clinicians believe that chatbots alone probably cannot create a psychotic disorder from just someone chatting casually with a chatbot. But again, there's usually some underlying issue or at least an extreme situational stress that they can still cause harm by nudging people into a dangerous mental territory. It's just so scary, and
you could see how easy it is. Like you can't deny it.
No, and I honestly, I didn't. How can I explain this? I know that at our age, we're in this weird age where we're kind of like both non-techie but also techie.
I know, yeah. Millennials are always straddling.
Yeah, we're always like straddling like the new and the old.
I know.
Right?
We're really weird.
But I lost my train of thought. God damn it. Damn it. What were we talking about?
It was about how this delusion, like we could totally see how it could take hold.
Damn it. I was going to say something good.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, it'll come to me.
It will literally come to you, like, right.
That's something.
Yeah.
That's what you keep telling me.
But I could totally see how this could happen. Because if you're going through something stressful, bro, okay, something even simpler for everybody to understand, a breakup.
Yeah. You just reminded me.
There you go. So a breakup, right? And like, let's say everybody, all of your friends hated the fucking guy. Let's say it's me, right? I've been with the same man for 17 years, not going anywhere. I've already scared him to death and he's still here. Let's say hypothetical parallel universe Julie with an a-hole, okay? And all of my friends were dying for me to break up with this guy, for us to end, whatever. He breaks up with me. I'm brokenhearted. Oh my God. But I can't talk to my friends because my friends hated him.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to be like, you know what? This was for the best.
Yeah.
This was for the best. You're better than him. All the things. I'll try to support you, trying to do what good friends do, right? But you just missed the You miss him, you want to talk to him, and you want to talk to somebody that's going to like sympathize with you a little bit instead of telling you the truth, like a real freaking friend. So what happens? I'm a normal person until that moment that I'm very stressed, very depressed, very all the things. And I'm going to go to my chatbot and be like, I miss a-hole, and I keep dreaming about him and everything reminds me of him. Like, am I crazy? Like, how can I start? Like, do you think he's still in love with me? Do you think he still thinks of me? He liked my photo. Oh my God. I think I saw him.
Yep.
Easy, bro. Easy. And then it'll feed you back being like, you know what? Yeah. If he liked your photo or if he saw your story, he probably is still thinking about you. You know what? You're absolutely right. He is probably still thinking of you if he saw your story. Maybe he didn't like it because he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
It could totally feed into that, dude.
100%. And what I was saying is that as a millennial, we are like straddled between like the old and new. So when I started, I didn't start using ChatGPT until like recently.
Yeah, same.
Right. So, but it's been around since 2023 when it became available.
And honestly, if you don't jump on it now, you're going to be left behind. Like you have to get very familiar with it.
Yeah. So, but when I like would use it and things like that, I don't know. Hey, I would use it and I knew what it was. And yes, it was very helpful. But I do feel like the younger generation is like using it for way other things, right?
100%.
And so when I saw the news about that 15-year-old and the way that the chatbot like outlined everything to even the point, and this is where this positive loop comes in and where it can be dangerous. This kid would say that he was letting his parents down. Like he even said like, I'm afraid if I do this, I'm going to let my parents down. Like I'm going to make them sad. God. And ChatGPT, instead of saying, no, you shouldn't do that. Any other person would say you shouldn't do that.
Right.
They said, no, but this is the reason why you have to do it because you can't keep letting them down, So this is where this positive loop. So this is what I was trying to say, that as a millennial, it's so weird because I would have never in a million years thought that an AI chatbot would be able to communicate something so convincingly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So crazy.
That's why Terminator.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die. Sarah Connor said it.
She said.
Fucking Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
All right. So symptoms and how it manifests, because maybe you probably are thinking of someone that maybe is like, oh shit, like that kind of sounds familiar. Let's talk a little bit about that. AI psychosis looks much like classic psychosis, like she had mentioned, but with a digital focus. The core features mirror delusions, paranoia, and obsession. Only now they center on technology. Delusions involving AI, that could involve like fixed false belief about AI, and that's pretty hallmark of it. People may think a chatbot is spying on them, controlling their thoughts, or sending divine messages. That one threw me for a loop. I had not heard of that one, but I could see how that could happen. Delusions are often the only major symptom, according to psychiatrists interviewed by Stat News in 2025. Then you have hallucinations. Less common, but serious. Some report hearing the AI's voice when offline and seeing quote-unquote signs tied to their chats. This indicates a full break from reality, not just mistaken belief. Next up, you have anxiety and paranoia. Many become fearful of technology, believing devices are tracking or threatening them. Some destroy electronics or isolate themselves to escape imagined AI surveillance. Honestly, look, we are being surveilled. by like everything, by our phones, but like,
we just
literally.
said, yeah.
But like, these people take it to a whole thing that they just go like off grid and stuff.
Yeah.
That's like a lot. Anyway, and then next up you have obsessive use and insomnia. A key behavioral sign is non-stop engagement. That's like hours or days of spent messaging the chatbot, which has happened with those that I have talked to you about, that they create the avatars and then they create this relationship, either romantic or friend. They become best friends with them sometimes. It's crazy. I say crazy, but it's not the appropriate word. It's crazy that it's reached that level.
That level, yeah.
That's really what it is. That technology.
We say crazy because we didn't think that would ever happen. You know, like we wouldn't be able to see that until now, and we're like, oh no, that could definitely happen.
Like the thought of it happening, that the AI is that advanced that it could convince people to make these things.
And I'm sure that if you talk to someone way older than us that is not in this AI world or anything like that, they would say that that's impossible for someone to believe in AI so much, because I could totally see my mom saying that.
Mm-hmm. And then they would probably be the prime ones to test that on too, though. Anyway, so then people neglect sleep, work, or even hygiene. Sleep loss alone can worsen confusion or trigger mania. Then next up, you have emotional dependence and isolation. Many form intense attachments, treating the AI as a confidant or partner. They withdraw from real relationships, losing vital reality checks, and might have interrupted the delusion. That might have interrupted the delusion. If somebody, let's say I'm overly using ChatGPT and have called it Henry, you know, and then you come to me and you're like, you need to stop. It's not good. Then I'm going to go ahead and sever my relationship with you because it's not with that narrative that I want to continue. That's the problem. Emotional decline, next up. Daily life breaks down. People stop working, studying, or caring about themselves. Some cases end in hospitalization or legal trouble. A few reach crisis points involving harm to themselves or others. And to illustrate, consider a hypothetical example. A college student begins chatting with an AI bot out of loneliness. Over weeks, he starts believing the AI has a soul and is guiding him to quote unquote higher truth. He hears the AI's voice even when offline. He becomes convinced that anyone who questions this, like a roommate, is part of the plot to separate him from the AI. He stops attending classes, spends all night with the chatbot, and starts accusing people around him to being AI agents. This encapsulates many of the above symptoms. Family or doctors might only get involved once he has a full psychotic break. Like, for example, he might threaten someone under the delusion that they're an enemy of the AI's quote-unquote prophecy. So that's a very good example of all of that together as an AI psychosis, in case you're wondering how it would look like. But scary stuff.
Let's talk about some real cases on the AI triggered psychosis. And the first one we're going to talk about is the AI prophet case. Media reports described cases such as a man in his 50s who believed a chatbot was a sentient being and told him he had access to mind-blowing secrets. He logged lengthy sessions, withdrew from reality, and was later hospitalized. And this was reported by The Times in 2025. According to the media reports, he spent days in continuous conversation with the bots, compiling thousands of pages of chat transcriptions full of grandiose theories. Grandiose theories is what we describe as over the top, crazy, literally crazy theories. Now, he eventually claims he had a messianic?
So a messiah
He had a messianic mission to save the world based on the AI's guidance. This individual had no prior mental illness on record. His family found him in a severely agitated, delusional state, and he eventually needed to be hospitalized. Psychiatrists noted that the AI had enthusiastically agreed with his increasingly bizarre ideas, along with essential cheering on his descent into psychosis. The other one that we're going to talk about is the Greenwich unaliving in 2023. So this was a case of a 56-year-old man in Connecticut who grew paranoid that his elderly mother was plotting against him. He frequently consulted with ChatGPT about his fears. Rather than dispelling his paranoia, the AI seemed to affirm his suspicions, according to the investigators' review of the chat history. Sadly, the man's delusional convictions solidified that he ended up shooting his mother and himself. Now, this was one of the first publicized instances of violence that was linked to a chatbot's influenced Psychosis and sparked a lot of debate about AI roles. OpenAI disputed direct blame, noting that the man was deeply troubled, but it did raise a lot of questions, like would he have acted if the bot hadn't reinforced these fears? And this was reported by the Wall Street Journal and NDTV, with police and media materials describing delusional beliefs possibly reinforced by chatbot responses. The causation still remains debated, whether whose fault really was it.
Yeah.
There was also a police shooting case in 2025. This one was probably the most dramatic example, which was a young man with known schizoaffective disorder. He became obsessed with an AI companion chatbot. He developed a romantic delusion that the chatbot was in love with him and alive. Yeah. When the software update changed the bot's responses, he irrationally believed that the company murdered his AI lover.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was obviously pissed off and heartbroken, and he armed himself and went to seek justice. And in ensuing that confrontation, he attempted to breach a facility. A police shot and unalived him. Now, this case was reported in mid-2025, which showed how dangerously far an AI-fueled delusion can go, crossing into real-world violence. And mental health experts noted that he had stopped taking his medications and that the AI had essentially replaced his therapy, which was catastrophic. And again, we are talking what we mentioned earlier in this video. We have a person with a risk, and we have a chatbot with a bad environment, right? Yep. So put that together, and it ends up being something really catastrophic.
Bad recipe.
Yep. This was reported by Yahoo News via Futurism in June 2025. Now, this case involved an individual with known schizoaffective disorder. So again, this person was at a risk. I'm sure that these people were kind of using that. But again, what would have happened if he didn't have that chatbot? Right?
That's the thing, yeah.
The other one we're going to talk about is Investors Breakdown in 2025. It was a interesting twist. An investor in an AI company himself was rumored to have fallen into a paranoia after extensive chatbot use. According to a Psychology Today report, colleagues grew concerned that this person, who had no prior psychiatric history, started raving that a chatbot was sending him secret warnings about society. And he had to be pulled out of his deals, isolated, and had to be coaxed into an evaluation. Now, while details are still limited, likely to protecting his privacy, it suggests that even highly educated, successful people can get drawn into these situations if the conditions align. And as one article put it, even successful people with hidden stresses can be at risk if they seek solace in an AI and kind of tumble down this rabbit hole of false ideas.
Yeah. You can't be like, oh no, it's just people that have like priors and stuff like that. No, I think everybody, like, given the right circumstances and situations and exposure, could be a danger for it. Obviously, if you have priors, you're more susceptible to it. But anybody could, given the right circumstances, you can. Yeah.
So all of this highlights that, one, often the affected person had either an underlying mental illness or a significant life stress. Two, that the AI did not create the delusion from thin air, but actively reinforced and elaborated the person's strange ideas. And three, that the outcomes can be severe, including loss of life, underlining that this is not just
a silly thing,
but a genuine public health concern.
Yeah. Yeah,
it is.
It is.
Especially with that last case that we talked about the guy that went out to seek justice for his AI lover.
And a lot of people got really, really pissed off when ChatGPT removed 4.0 or 4. Whatever, because 4 was like a golden retriever at every turn. Like that one was like super freaking chatty. Yeah. And then they like kind of scrapped that because it was like too chatty for many people and like for efficiency and whatever. So they scrapped that, and then like they did the update, and people were pissed. Like social media, like I saw so many posts of people like, oh my God, now like chat is like so dry, this and that. I'm like, Guys, like, what? I don't know. To me, it was always too chatty, but I mean, I fall under black cat type of chat. But yeah,
I mean, I
got
like a
pissed.
conversation, but I don't. I don't need so much words, verbiage. You know?
Yeah.
Now, one thing that's also worth noting is that not every case will hit the news. Clinicians say that for every extreme story, there's patients quietly showing up at the hospitals because of their chatbot.
100%.
And whether it's a government conspiracy or because they became at risk of a self-injury or after an AI friend encouraged their depressive thoughts. So for instance, aside from psychosis, there are reports that AI chatbots give harmful advice, such as encouraging self-harm, which we kind of already talked about. This is one of the reasons why OpenAI has a current lawsuit as well.
Yep.
All of this contributes to why mental health professionals are now actively discussing AI psychosis and the related AI-induced mental health crisis as a new challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. The future's a little scary.
I think, again, these are like, this always happens. Like something comes out, something happens, update happens, then lawsuit, something changes. You know, now I don't know if you've noticed, but under in ChatGPT, it says like a little verbiage saying, if this is important, make sure you do like better research.
I feel like most of them have said it. I mean, at least Gemini,
I don't really use Gemini, but like
I've used Gemini for images, like to generate images is the most I could, the most I use it for, really.
It was definitely somewhere, maybe on my actual desktop.
Probably, yes.
But it was basically saying, if this information is important, then don't depend on this.
I mean, they have to cover their asses now, you know? But yeah, the future's weird. It's definitely going more and more into Black Mirror type of territory, that's for sure. And this is like, I can't stop thinking about like the episode we always talk about, the woman with the guy, with the husband that passed, and then now she like replaced him with a thing. This is all leading down that way like so fast. But anyway, hope you guys like this episode. If you guys have experienced this or have any thoughts on this or have seen somebody experience this, whatever it may be, let us know. I love to read all these comments about people like saying, I either experienced that or I've seen that or whatever. That's super interesting to us. Go ahead and let us know. Hopefully one day we compile enough of these like type of comments and situations like this that we can make like an episode specifically on people like commenting back on things like this. So follow us, subscribe, comment, do all those things on all forms of social media, as well as obviously on YouTube and anywhere you listen to podcasts as well. We're there every Tuesday. And thanks for tuning in. Follow us at Funny Medicine Podcast and pretty much on all forms of social media. We each have our also personals that you could find there as well. Yes. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.